Listen to me carefully. I want to tell you about the one faculty you possess that separates you from every other creature on this earth. Not your strength, not your speed, not even your intelligence, as most men understand it. Something far more powerful than any of those things. I want to tell you about your imagination. And before you dismiss what I just said, before the part of your mind that has been trained to be practical and skeptical and guarded tells you that imagination is for children and dreamers and men who cannot handle the real world, I want you to stay with me for just a moment, because what I am about to show you is this. Every single thing that exists in the world of human achievement, every invention, every empire, every fortune, every institution that has ever improved the condition of mankind, began in exactly one place. Not in a factory, not in a bank, not in a boardroom. It began in the imagination of one man or one woman who dared to see something that did not yet exist, and then refused to stop until the world could see it too. That is not philosophy. That is the documented history of every great achievement I have studied in 40 years of research. And yet the majority of men treat their imagination the way they treat a muscle they never use. It is there. It is capable. It is waiting. And it atrophies from neglect while they go about the business of reacting to a world they never had the courage to first imagine differently. I want to change that for you today, right now, in this hour. But first I need to speak to you honestly about something that is costing you more than you know. You have been trying to solve your problems with the same mind that created them. I do not say that to insult you. Einstein said something very close to it, and he was not in the business of insults. He was in the business of truth. And the truth is this: when a man faces an obstacle and he reaches only for what he already knows, only for the tools already in his possession, only for the solutions that logic and past experience can produce, he has already limited his outcome before he has begun. Logic is a fine servant, but it is a terrible master. Logic can only work with what already exists. Logic can only draw from what has already been established, what has already been proven, what has already been done. Logic, left alone, will always arrive at conventional answers. And conventional answers produce conventional results. I have never met a man who built an extraordinary life on conventional results. Not once. In 500 interviews. Not one. The men who built the extraordinary, Carnegie, Ford, Edison, Rockefeller, they used logic. Absolutely they did. But logic was the builder. Imagination was the architect. Imagination drew the plans first, and then logic went to work building what imagination had already seen. If you have been struggling, if the results of your effort have not matched the intensity of your effort, I want you to ask yourself one honest question tonight. Are you bringing imagination to your problems, or are you bringing only what you already know? Because those are two entirely different tools, and only one of them has ever built anything new. Now, I want to give you the definition, the precise definition, because words matter. Vague words produce vague understanding, and vague understanding produces vague results. Imagination is the workshop of the mind. It is the faculty through which the mind receives the raw material of thought, plans, ideas, hunches, visions, and shapes them into something that can be brought into physical reality. That is what imagination is, a workshop, not a daydream, not an escape, a place of active, deliberate construction, and it operates in two distinct forms. You must understand both. The first form is what I call synthetic imagination. This is the faculty that takes existing ideas, existing knowledge, existing facts, and arranges them in new combinations. The man who studies what has been done in his industry and finds a way to do it differently, better, at greater scale. He is using synthetic imagination. It is enormously valuable. It is responsible for the majority of practical innovation you see in the world. But it has a ceiling. And that ceiling is the existing body of knowledge it has to work with. Synthetic imagination cannot go beyond what is already known. It can only recombine it. The second form is creative imagination, and this is where things become extraordinary. Creative imagination is the direct channel between the finite mind of man and what I will call infinite intelligence. It is the faculty through which the truly original idea arrives, not assembled from existing parts, not derived from existing knowledge, but received, whole, complete, often at unexpected moments. In the middle of the night, in the quiet after a long problem, in the sudden clarity that follows a period of intense concentration. Every man I studied who produced something genuinely original, something the world had not seen before, relied on this faculty, not as a mystical gift reserved for special souls, as a practiced, developed, deliberately cultivated capacity of the human mind. Edison understood this. He said that his greatest ideas came not from reasoning, but from what he called tapping in, sitting quietly with the problem held in full concentration, and then releasing the grip of conscious effort and allowing the deeper mind to work. He was not describing magic. He was describing the mechanics of creative imagination, and those mechanics are available to every human being who learns how to use them. Let me tell you what imagination actually does for a man, not in theory, in practice. Imagination is the birthplace of your definite chief aim. Before you can commit to a purpose, before you can write it down and read it every morning and allow it to direct every decision of your day, you must first be able to see it, clearly, specifically, with enough vivid detail that it feels real before it is real. That seeing is imagination at work. The man who cannot imagine his success in detail cannot commit to it with the full force of his faith, because he has nothing clear enough to commit to. He has a vague wish, and wishing, as I have said many times, is not the same as deciding. Imagination transforms the wish into the vision, and the vision is what the subconscious mind can be given as instruction. Feed your subconscious a clear, vivid, emotionally charged picture of what you intend to create, and your subconscious will begin working toward it immediately. It will begin filtering your experience for opportunities that serve that picture. It will begin aligning your behavior with the outcome you have imagined. It will begin sending you the hunches, the impulses, the inspired ideas that move you in the right direction. But it needs the picture first. Give it vagueness, and it produces vagueness. Give it clarity, and it produces clarity. Imagination is also the master tool of the mastermind. I spoke in another place about the mastermind principle, the coordination of two or more minds in harmony toward a definite purpose. I told you that when minds meet in that spirit of harmony, a third mind emerges, something beyond either individual, something that neither could access alone. What I want you to understand now is that the mechanism of that third mind is imagination. When two men with strong imaginative faculties sit together in true harmony around a common purpose, the creative imagination of each man is ignited by the other. Ideas arrive that neither man would have produced alone. Solutions appear that neither mind, working independently, could have generated. The mastermind, at its deepest level, is a meeting of imaginations, and there is no more powerful creative event on this earth. This is why the men who built great things surrounded themselves with other men of strong imagination and strong purpose, not merely for their skills, not merely for their resources, for the fire that one imagination kindles in another. Imagination is also the antidote to fear. I have told you that fear is the great enemy of human achievement, and I have meant it. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These are the forces that hold more men in limitation than any external obstacle ever could. But here is what most men do not understand about fear. Fear is itself an act of imagination. When a man is afraid of what might happen, afraid of failing, afraid of being exposed, afraid of the worst case, he is using his imagination vividly, powerfully, consistently. He is imagining futures that do not yet exist and responding to them emotionally as though they were real. He is not failing to use his imagination. he is using it against himself. Which means the solution is not to stop imagining. The solution is to redirect the imagination, to use the same faculty that has been generating vivid pictures of failure, to generate equally vivid pictures of success, of the outcome you intend, of the man you are becoming, of the life you are building. The imagination does not care which direction it is aimed. It is a faculty, not a judge. Aim it at your fears, and it will multiply your fears. Aim it at your purpose, and it will multiply your momentum. You choose the aim. Every day, in every quiet moment, you choose what your imagination is building. Choose deliberately.